Good evening. This is Taxonomy Tuesday from New Jersey Mycological Association. This is where our members come and share their recent fungal finds. If anybody would like to begin, let me know. Hunter, would you like to begin? Or maybe we'll start with Carlos. Is Carlos ready?
Carlos is ready.
Okay. Did you want me to share yours directly
W
from my screen?
would you mind? You've
No,
got the
there's no.
links hopefully queued up.
Yeah.
I think I put them in order of age of the fungi. So just
Age. That's okay.
just in terms of the life cycle, perhaps.
Oh, okay. So
Um,
you had over multiple days? Okay.
no, no, I just so this I'm
Well,
presenting what I believe to be a scaly ink cap, which I don't know is a particularly exciting mushroom, but I
but you,
found
you
it.
created you created a different link for each picture?
Yeah, I don't know how this works. This is my
Yeah,
first time
you
doing
don't
it.
you don't do it that way. No.
Okay.
Uh,
Well, hopefully
okay.
part of my presentation will be all y'all good people telling me how to do this the correct way. Uh,
Okay.
and just and for the record, I am not anyone who works on any of these issues. I am a complete amateur, and this is my first presentation here.
Well, thanks for sharing, Carlos. And
Yeah.
I mean, basically, you can add those other pictures to this one observation, and
Aha.
and I know when you upload first to iNet, it like has them all separate. Even if you entered all the pictures in one day on my iPad, at least. But then when I go on top above and I select all, it gives you the option to combine all the pictures into one observation. Um,
Thank you.
yeah,
And I will fix that. Some of this is me learning how to use iNaturalist. I'm a new user there. So
Yeah, well, iNaturalist just yelled at me yesterday because I uploaded a picture that has a different date stamp on. And they say you should be opening up a new observation. So no, I can't do that. I was just trying to upload a foreprint, which is not going to have the same date.
oh,
and
interesting.
the other thing that's interesting is I I didn't realize this. I guess iNaturalist tries to identify it for you. Uh,
Yes.
and there were a couple times when it was identifying it as something other than a scaly ink cap, but let's let's see what y'all think. I think these are all scaly ink caps in various stages. Um,
Oh,
these were
good.
these were observed in at Palmyra Cove in Camden County, on the bank of the Delaware River, just about on or around a rotting log. Um, I would have tried to take better pictures, but there was a snake there that scared me, so I didn't take better pictures. Um, but this looks like, to me, what it looks like is some younger versions of the scaly ink cap and some that are expanding whatever you call that, their hood. But I didn't see any in the stage that I understand to be the near final stage, the deliquescence or whatever that is, where it
Hmm.
turns inky. Um, but it looks like some of these that are kind of opening up are probably not far from that.
For sure, they're starting. Yeah.
You certainly nailed all the appropriate pictures.
I don't see the base of any.
Dave, this sort of reminds me of that one I shared. I, it's, I mean, again, I wonder if it's actually something different because it's the scale of this hair kind of orange and
Hunter, I think you're talking about Coprinellus flocosulus, or
yeah.
I
Mhm.
think that's the name. Um, I think the scales are smaller on that.
And
Okay.
the other thing that makes me think it's scaly ink cap is my understanding is they tend to sprout right around June, July, as opposed to some of the other species that look similar, which are more late summer, early fall.
The timing's right on for sure.
Yeah, I think there's probably one of two things. The scalene cap is Coprinopsis variegata, and then there's another one, and Igor's there, and I think he might know this other one because I think he's proposed it a couple of times. It starts with R, Romana something.
Yeah.
Igor, are you there? Do you know what I'm talking about? Romagnesia, something like that.
Could you please repeat that? I was away from my computer for a second.
Oh yeah. So there's like two versions of the scaly Coprinopsis. There's variegata, and there's that one that starts with ROM. I think.
Yeah. Yeah, it's named after this Italian mycologist of the last century, Romanesi.
Excuse me.
Okay.
Romanesiana.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
I found this in, I found it in Lithuania several years ago, and I got it sequenced, so I kind of know what it looks like.
So I think the pictures we're seeing here from Carlos are one or the other of those species.
I think this is variegata. This is not Romanesiana.
Yeah. Okay. Mm-hmm.
I did no microscopy here, so this is all just on visual.
Really nice pictures.
Thank you.
How big were these mushrooms? Do you remember?
These were pretty small. These were, for the most part, no bigger than maybe my thumb.
Oh, okay. Okay, that's probably bigger than Coprinellus flocculosus. I think that's the name. Because there is another thing that looks a little bit like these, but it's a little bit smaller. I don't think it's as yellow as these also. That's variegata. That sounds right to me. You know, one thing you can do when you're taking a photo, if you have a penny in your pocket,
scale.
Preferably if it's not a really new shiny penny, because it'll reflect too much light and it just becomes a distraction. But if you have like a dull, 1965 penny or something like that,
Thank you. So I do have a question. So one of the things I had trouble getting was the under to see the gills, and so I chopped one and took that picture. Is that all right to just chop them? I mean, I know we forage them and we take them sometimes, because I couldn't quite get the angle with my hand to get underneath the mushroom.
You would have to do that to get a spore print, so or do any microscopy on it. So I think it's fine.
It looks like there's quite a few of them in that cluster. So, there certainly are enough of them that you can fool around with a few of them and try to, cut them in different ways. You can break the stalk right off, I guess, if you want to see only the gills. Another thing you can do is vertically section a mushroom, and then you get maybe a better idea of how the gills are either attached or not attached to the stalk, because you can look in profile. But there's a lot of them there. You can take some of them and do some things with them.
And Sue noted before, and I agree, digging them up from the bottom, getting as complete of a fruit body as possible.
Okay.
Right.
Maybe not so much with this particular one, but there are other ones where that's paramount, to say the least.
Thank you.
I think this species actually has an interesting stipe base. If you go like to Mushroom Expert and look up the species Coprinopsis variegata. Here we are. Here's some photos. Somebody's finding.
Trying to get it to give me more than one.
Yeah.
It has a basal bulb.
Yeah, it's got a bulb, and I think sometimes it has like a little rim on it.
Tapered too.
Yeah.
Tapered slightly to apex. I have Mushroom Expert open, terminating in a rim basal bulb.
Yeah, a rimmed basal bulb. Yeah, so that would be another feature that you might see that helps contribute to your ID proposal.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
All right, now you just have to learn how to merge these pictures. I know there's a thing that says duplicate.
I'll figure it out.
Okay, when I create on iNet, I use my laptop, so I don't know, it might be different on other kinds of devices. But all I do is I click upload photos, and then I click that, and I go to my things I can select on my computer. I select the folder I want that has the photos in it I want. I highlight all the photos that apply to a given observation, highlight them, and then click open or upload, something like that. Then they all show up on the iNet screen. Now, if you don't do anything else, you'll have 6 different observations for 6 photos, like you ended up with here. But what you can do then is just hold the cursor over one of the photos, and I think you have to hold down the mouse if you're using a mouse. You can slide the other photos onto the photo that you want to be the thumbnail. Once you have all the photos slid onto the one single photo, and it looks like one photo on your screen, but it's like 6 of them all merged into that one. Then when you eventually click create observation, I think is the prompt, something like that. After you do the other things, you have to put a location in. Unless if you're using like a phone and it's already got GPS tagged onto it, then you don't have to worry about that. It'll just do it. But anyway, that's how you can slide the photos into a single visual cue, and then they'll all be part of the
problem with that
same.
is when you upload all of them, it determines the order. You don't get to determine it. So I find it's
No,
easier.
the one that you don't slide becomes the thumbnail.
Right, but all the others are not in the order I'd want to display them, so you have to go shuffle them all again.
Yeah, sometimes the order gets mixed up.
Yeah, and so it's much easier to put them up in the order you want than to go start re-editing things and moving things around. At least on
Okay,
my
so
devices.
is there a trick to getting the order that you want to begin with?
Uploading one at a time
In the order you want.
in the order. And you don't have to actually do the post to iNaturalist in a particular order, but the upload if you do the one. So
So
I do
if
like a
you
bunch of them. The in situ first, and then I'll do the other stuff that I might have, and that as a batch. So at least keep the in situ first, and then anything else later.
right. So how do you upload one at a time? Do you open from your where you have
On
them
my
stored on
phone,
your
I do
device?
the upload of the one pit, create observation with one picture,
Uh-huh.
and because then you say you select the picture, and I do the select picture.
Oh, and then you can just click the little plus sign
Yeah, just add
on
them
the
as you go.
observation. Right.
Yeah.
I
Sue?
see. Oh, that's
Hey,
okay.
Sue.
That's a good way.
Yes.
I just put in the chat what might be a fixed upload that should have all my pictures
Oh,
in
you're too fast. Yeah, there you go.
that.
All righty.
See, I
Very
listen
good.
and learn.
Yeah,
Right.
fast. When you want a job.
Really?
So, well, while you guys were talking it out, I just did it.
Okay. And you got rid of the other ones, or
Oh, I don't know. Hopefully I uploaded all the ones that were in that link in the different links, and I'll have to delete the other individual ones.
right? Yeah, yeah. I was just thinking. I didn't know where iNaturals I know has a thing where you can say, "Mark, this is a duplicate," and I don't know what happens when you do that. Okay.
You got to
All right.
join the project too. The
I
photo.
I browsed the projects, and
Did you join the
I didn't join anything yet.
New Jersey Mycological Association photo?
No,
Uh,
no, I didn't.
Yeah, here you go. Correct project is. I'll put that in the chat.
Sweet. All right, thank you.
yeah, and once you join that, all of your stuff will get tossed right in there
Basically, you're giving
automatically.
us permission to use your photos if we want to put it in the newsletter or something.
Done.
Yeah. But
I'm
more
in.
importantly, we get to search, yours when we have extra time on Taxonomy Tuesday, we can go browse that project and see what we can do.
All right, I'm in. I've joined.
Good.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you,
And I
Charles.
very much appreciate the advice and the help. It's
Yeah.
because, this is a lot of fun.
Did you upload your snake picture or you didn't take a picture?
Uh, no, it would have been very shaky.
Where
Yeah.
was the snake?
It was right next to the log.
Oh, I missed that.
No, it was, what I learned just in my first few expeditions to search for mushrooms is that when you're searching for mushrooms, you also find varmints.
Yes.
Well, for the most part, if they don't make noise, the snakes, that is, you're pretty good.
Yeah, and look, I'm just a regular non-outdoors dude, so any kind of snake will make me jump.
Oh, you'll get there.
And then this is garlic mustard growing there, invasive garlic mustard, right? Growing among the variegata there, right?
Which ones? All of them or
No,
just
that
this?
The
those are vines.
Yeah, they do look funny.
I
What is?
forget what they're called. I have them all over the place in my yard.
Oh, okay. That's like creeping Charlie-ish or something, but not.
I don't know what they're called. I belong to a mushroom club, not a plant club.
Yeah, I know. They look like the garlic mustard leaves, but you're right. It's like a vine. Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Well, we could upload these and find out what they are too. I do that
Right.
all the time. I don't upload. I just use iNaturalist to give me the suggestion, and I just don't bother uploading it. It's just
Yeah,
like I have a naturalist book in my pocket with my phone now, but I don't
right.
have to.
Yeah, and so that's the app, and I have that on my phone, but it's not really good for uploading. I like to actually go to the website on to do the personally to do the uploading.
Well, you can just wait until you're home and then do the upload.
Yeah, that's what I do.
Okay, you don't have to change computer.
But I do because that my phone I like to be on something bigger. Yeah, but yeah.
The pictures are the same size regardless of the device you upload from.
But my
Okay.
bigger. So
All right. Thank you,
it's all
Carlos.
together.
Thank you.
Does anybody else want to go? Hunter, are you ready?
Yeah, I can do mine
Okay.
now. I'm
Okay,
gonna.
I'll stop the share. I'll
Yeah.
let you practice.
Oh, thanks. Yeah. Okay. Why did it do it that way? Okay, here we go. Oh, can you guys see anything or no? Hmm.
Yeah, it's almost there.
Okay, but you're not seeing it yet. Same with me. That's what I got. Like it's just coming still. You're seeing the same thing?
Yeah,
Seems like it's taking a long time, like 27, 28, 29. Is
it
that
usually doesn't. It usually doesn't take, like, mine's like a 3, 2, 1 countdown.
same? Usually so. Hmm. Um, weird. Should I just stop and try?
Yeah, maybe try it again.
Yeah, okay. Oh, there we go. 3, 2, 1. Oh, weird. It looks like it's like doing something different. Or wait a second. I wonder if I just have to push this out of the way. Oh, okay. Um, do you see iNet now?
Yeah, it's up now.
Oh, phew.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry. Sorry about that. So this find I thought was really fascinating. And maybe not to you guys, but to me. When it was very small and in leaf litter, mostly oak, some hickory maybe, but mostly oak, maybe some maple. But it's got that high up on the stipe, you can see there's a color change. And in the woods, it looked like bluing. And the color on this is completely off. My phone forced a upgrade to 26, and the camera's really wacky now. But the color's off. These were lighter yellow, a little bit lighter yellow, and then this seemed like it was bluing a little bit. So I was kind of wondering if it could be some sort of psillacibe. Here you can see sort of more that bluing look on the stipe, and maybe I'm just wanting to see blue, but
That's it. It's a little bit bluish green. This is Gliophorus psittacinus, the parrot mushroom.
Parrot,
I don't know how to
yes.
say that species name.
oh, okay, that's exciting. And even
Yeah,
though it's mostly yellow, um, yeah, that's the parrot one. Okay, because that's what
yeah. Who knows how to say that species name? I don't know how to say it.
is it like
Psittacinus,
Psittacinus, yeah.
Oh God.
I think. But yeah, it can present green, red, yellow. I
Orange.
found them blue, you know.
Mhm.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Pistacina.
Sinus.
Pistacina. Okay.
Sinus.
I see the letters, and I learned how to read by learning phonics. I just see those letters and forget about it.
And I see the letters, and I think pistachio, because that's
Yeah, yeah.
something like that. But yeah, okay.
Pistatinas.
Pist, pist, it is a tough one. I'm looking at it like, what? Because, yeah. Okay. Anyways, thank you. Okay, that's good. I was sort of hoping it was some exciting new species, but no. Here's the spores. I know this is like bad microscopy, but again, the phone, what my first pictures before it all dried up, the slide were just there was no clarity. So I wanted to show the little apiculus, right? Is that what it's called? The little points.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
they
Yep.
Yeah.
they're awfully pronounced on these.
Yes. And they were lost in the other picture. So I came back down and it had almost dried all up, but this was the best I could get. So yeah, so that was pretty cool. And yeah, it was an exciting find. There wasn't a lot out there, but yeah. So that's that. And then I did try to do microscopy on this Xylaria, which might be hypoxylon, but it didn't work out very well. The same day, I also found these dead man fingers, which I'm certain are Xylaria polymorpha. And I did some microscopy on this and it worked out better, but my phone the pictures were just terrible. So I didn't even include them, but it was fun to find this group of so many
Yeah,
fingers.
Hunter, the other one, the one you're proposing, hypoxylon.
Yeah, might not be, could be something
Well,
else.
well, it might be. I mean, it's certainly a reasonable proposal. I mean, it could be something else. There's a few others that are like this that grow on wood, but when they're white like this, they're still in their anamorphic form, and the white is conidia. So you're going to find conidia, and you won't find the ascospores yet.
Okay.
But if you look on Myco-Quebec, a lot of times they will describe the conidia for you.
Oh, okay. I would like to, and I would like to see the spores of polymorpha. I don't think I got around to checking whether what I was seeing was spores. They Uh, yeah, I think they were though. But anyways, we don't have to do that. But I think that mushroom expert did not have. Oh, then no, they did have it. Yeah. So the spores are sort of eye shaped, which is not a scientific term, but they're shaped like eyes. And I did see them on the other one, on polymorpha. But yeah, this one I wouldn't see spores. Okay.
Right. Yeah, you would only get conidia here, and you'd get a lot of them probably. Just a little. If you just lie one of these down on a slide, you'll end up with probably a lot of conidia.
I just used a razor blade and kind of just scraped off like, um, shaved off a little
Yeah. The
bit.
problem that I have with doing that, I mean, I'll do that as a last resort if I can't get spores to fall out of something. But when you do that, you get a lot of other stuff on your slide besides spores. So there's all this debris to have to visually sort through.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. And then, of course, there weren't even spores with this because it's in a different stage. Yeah.
Right.
All right. And then this sort of, I was a little bit miffed on this. So, uh, well, and now the young one seems to almost have texture to it, but the larger one felt very smooth, and that's the one I took home. And
So the proposal here is from INAT, I guess, subgenus Globaria. What does that mean? I mean, what is that a subgenus of? Do they say?
I think it's of what's the Bovista one?
The is this a puffball? Do you
Yeah,
think? Yeah,
yeah,
so maybe Bovista?
yeah. I don't know because it didn't have any spines, and all the Lycopterodon have some sort of spine on them. I mean I thought it was spineless, but now as I look at the little baby, it does seem to have some texture.
Yeah, it's got some texture to it. This looks more like a Bovista though. The Lycoperdon will usually, I think, I don't know if they all have it, but a lot of them have that sterile base. So if you section it, you see the bottom part of the fruit body that's a little bit narrower.
Yeah.
Will have the texture of the context is different
Mhm.
from the gleba, the sort of the part of the fruit body that's going to turn to spore.
Oh, and I didn't include the spores, but I did look at them, and it was interesting because it dried up so quickly. But I looked at the spores, and they, I believe, were perfectly round, but with zero ornamentation. I know some of the Lycopterodon or the spiny puffballs have some nice ornamentation on the spores.
Yeah, but very, very small warts. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
I think it's one of the two. Well, now it's Apioperdon pyriform.
Oh,
And then
right.
there's Lycoperdon perlatum. One of the two, I forget which one, has spores that are ornamented and the other doesn't. But it's so hard to tell the ornamentation. You really have to have a very clear view at 1,000 times magnification to really see the ornamentation.
Polcherima has that's that really spiny one that has nice
Oh, which one is that?
it's it's a really spiny one.
Yeah, I know. There's a few of them actually.
Yeah,
I
I
think one
know.
of them is Echino something, and
Right. Agnes for
yeah, I know what I know what you mean.
yeah.
I
I've
think the Lycoperdons are usually a little later, also.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah. So this, yeah. So subgenus Globaria. I don't know. Maybe we just want to put. Well, so that is a member of the.
okay, so it's a member. Oh, so it's a subgenus of Bovista. I see that
Yeah.
now. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So this is good for me because this Bovista is something I've sort of like ignored, and had just thrown this into the other genuses in the past, but now I know better. So good. Okay. And then, well, I found an Amanita. I believe it's section vaginate. Here's the vulva, and here it is. So if Carlos is still here, as this genus in particular, it's very important to get that base
I
because
see.
because they really vary. And so I think this one has sort of that strangled look a little bit, but I'm not positive. And but it looks like it has some staining, doesn't it? On the,
Hunter,
Yeah,
can I
there's
ask a question
staining
about the
on.
base?
yeah.
So if you're going to excavate the base, are most mushrooms kind of structurally like this, where it's going to go straight down, or do I have to worry about a root system like a plant?
Most of them go straight down, but there's are some rooting mushrooms that have a very long stem and then root tip that attaches to wood. So the like Udmenziella and the rooting polypore. But there's very few. Most of them, it's maybe no more than a few inches down and straight down.
I see. Thank you.
Does that sound
Hunter,
right?
this one seems pretty interesting to me. What color is the cap?
Yeah, so here's the cap. And it's pretty small too. I took I'll show you again. I don't know what the
Hmm.
staining is. It's kind of unusual. Uh
Yes, it is.
yeah, it's odd. Maybe that
And
rust did
it's
it.
oh, what do you call that? Striate. Oh, the little bumps.
Yeah,
There's a word
straight.
for that also.
Oh yeah, yeah, right.
What's the word for
Um
the little bumps? Oh,
and yeah. Now
oh.
don't all vaginate have it, what you're talking about?
They don't all have the bumps, but they all have striations.
Oh, okay. Yeah, something striate.
Yeah, something. Now the word is on the
Are
tip of my
you
brain.
talking about a bump in the middle of the cap?
Well, so they're not actually lines, the what we would normally call striations. They're like a row of bumps, correct?
These things, they're striations.
Oh, okay. But what
Tuberculate. Striate tuberculate.
oh, okay.
Yeah,
Tuberculate
because
striate.
tuberculosis is like little bumps on the lungs, I think. So that's where they got that word from.
Okay,
Uh,
so striations are bumpy is the
well,
point.
no, the striations are the lines. The
Oh,
little bumps are that's what the word tuberculate refers to.
okay, but are they like right on top of the lines?
Well,
The
they're on the ridges,
yeah.
mostly on the ridges. I mean, a few of them might be sort of in between.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Okay, so those are separate sort of things.
yeah, it's two words, or tuberculate, striate tuberculate, that's describing two different aspects. And generally, I mean, there are some residues that are kind of tuberculate that don't have striations, or that have very weak striations. But with section vaginate amanitas, I'm pretty sure they are all striate to some extent. It's just a matter of what percentage of the radius. This one looks like close to 50%, 40, well, over 40% of the radius is
Can you repeat that?
striations.
I'm sorry. Can you just repeat the ratio means what? I'm
The fort. Okay, so if you go from the center of the cap toward the margin on a straight line, that's the radius,
mm-hmm.
right? So, what percentage of the radius do these grooves
Yeah, I'd say about
represent?
50% almost.
It looks like close to 50%.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's something, if you read descriptions of um, species of Amanita section vaginate, a lot of times you will be told a percentage of the radius that's the striations occupy. But as you said, this one's really interesting. Look at the staining, the sort of darker disc. There was that brown staining on the basal vulva. The basal vulva looked fairly persistent. I'm not sure this one's in with the strangulated amanitas. Maybe. I mean, there are some aspects that seem right.
And that would be the vulva that he's talking about.
Yeah, but the strangulated ones, the bottom part of the vulva disintegrates, and you just end up with a ring that's strangulating the lower stipe. It's just going around like a bracelet, sort of. And the strangulated amanitas mostly, I think, most of the vulva disintegrates except for the top part, and that usually turns gray. But I don't know. Maybe, but sometimes you find them and they're young enough that the disintegration has not yet occurred. This one's interesting though. I've never seen. I don't think I've ever seen this species.
Okay, and I think it kind of fell apart. I don't think I have it actually, unfortunately. But the Journal of Wild Mushrooming says Tuberculate-Striate. It is the striations are made up of rows of little bumps. So they are.
I guess you can say that. Okay. Yeah, I think of the ridges and the bumps as being sort of two different things, but you can say it that way.
Okay, some people say it that way. Okay, so yeah, Igor, are you here? Okay, he's not here.
All right. I'm here.
You have any other thoughts on it before?
No. Not really.
No.
They're so mutable. There are so many of them. I mean, you can maybe try to separate them into groups, like you can with Stirpsiciliae, but this one, no. You have to do the DNA. That's the only way.
Okay. I do have 2 mushroom observer observations, but if there's other people who want to go, we can maybe do it at the end or something. But they're up as well, so either way, it may be.
I should just keep going.
Okay.
You're on a roll.
All right, we'll keep going. So I actually don't think this is Coprinopsis lagopus, but I wanted to put something down. It was such a beautiful display of inky caps. I mean, just beautiful, I thought, and so dark. And so let's see. So here is one picked, and then there's supposed to be an underside here. It's missing, which is not good. So I apologize. And I did not take one. I did not do anything with it. But is it maybe more Parasola, maybe? Or any thoughts on this? I'm sorry. I thought
not
I had
Parasola, because there are remnants of a UV are seen on the cap. See the little flakes on the cap?
Yeah, so that's
remnants of a UV, of a universal veil. Parasola mushrooms lack universal veil.
Oh, okay.
You don't see that on them. Also, these are beginning to deliquesce, it looks like. Parasola, I guess sometimes they deliquesce if it's really humid weather and rainy, but they tend to just dry out. Actually, we found a Parasola. I think it's Parasola. We found one on Sunday or Saturday at a club foray here. Unusually in moss. I mean, maybe there was some excrement in the moss. But anyway, Coprinopsis sounds good to me.
Okay. But maybe not lagopus, maybe group. Maybe.
There's one Cinereus, I think. You might want to look that one.
That sounds likely. The name could.
Yeah, gray. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Look up that one. See if But they're kind of hard to identify as species.
Yeah. And then, yeah, not the easiest to get home and do the microscopy on.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks.
There's one that's sort of similar to this that I find in our compost heap. And I actually, since it's right by our house, I was able to pick some last year and get them right into a dehydrator. And they got sequenced, and I have a species name for them.
Oh,
I should have put it in to well, it's
cool.
from last year, so I didn't put it in this group this week.
Oh, okay. It's not even on anywhere, is what you're saying. Just
Well, it's on Mushroom Observer, but I didn't include it in
oh,
my links that I sent in this week.
got it. Yeah. Okay. And then
If there's time later on and you want to see, I'll find it. I'll put it in the chat. Put a link in the chat.
Okay. Yeah, that'd be cool. And then the red raspberry slime was out, and there's some other slime here. It looks almost like tremella. Oh my gosh, I'm blanking. It's one of my favorites. But that white slime in the top left and bottom, almost left center, and it's to the right too. I'm not sure what that is, but this is Tubifera ferruginosa, and it's a slime mold, and I think it actually used to be in stemonitis, which I thought was interesting. And so it's a lot of little, I guess they say cigar-shaped structures, kind of squeezed together, and it's a cool one. I tried to do microscopy on it, and I guess they have spores. These might be them, maybe.
They almost look like too wet to like be like in that stage. Like don't most slimes they kind of like get to that like drier stage before they're
Oh, sporulating or something?
yeah.
Oh, that's a good thought. Well, I did bring it home and dry it before I did the microscopy, and then did this razor blade scraping technique. So that's what I did. So it could just be, the tips of the structures. I'm not really sure, but I thought they sort of look like ornamented spores. But I don't think I could find any pictures of what they're supposed to look like, and I think I did look. So, yes, I'm almost certain I looked, and so I thought, yeah, no one's done it, I guess. So, anyways, that's what I got for the week, and that's it. So, thanks. Oh,
Thanks, Hunter.
yeah, thank you. All right, I'm gone.
I just wanted to stay on the Amanita topic, since I did find one this week.
Oh, good.
Actually, this morning I found it. So it claims it's flavorubens, if I believe the AI. It has, I couldn't see the warts that way, but there's another picture that has it on the side. That's the bottom. Squishy. Come on. I don't think it's that much red, but here you can see there's warty things. Cut it open, it didn't really do much for me.
But there is some blushing, it looks like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can sort of see it on this one more, but because we don't normally have reddish dirt.
Yeah.
And of course, this veil is sort of torn apart. And yet it seemed very fresh because all I could see was the cap above the mulch that it was buried in. But it was under Christmas tree spruces.
Let's see the
It
cap
doesn't. It
again.
doesn't have much basal structure,
Right.
and it looks like there's no striations on the cap margin. So that's probably section validae, which is where Flavorubens is housed, and I'd say that ID makes sense. Usually, you'll see some reddish brown stain inside the
Yeah,
stipe.
and I cut it open. I still haven't seen anything. I tried rubbing and nothing's really coming apart. It's turning red for me.
Well, let's see the other photos that shows actually the universal veil on the cap.
I like this. Yeah, this. It almost looks like it's being like hypoxylized.
No,
What's called scales are like all stuck together.
probably because of the rain.
It did rain heavy last night.
So how about the other pictures, Sue?
That's that. That's that.
No, the other one.
What one? Which one's the other one?
Second from the right.
Second from the right. This one.
Mm-hmm. I don't
Yeah,
think
but
those patches are representative of Flavorubens. They're too white.
yeah, I was going to say that you might have two different species here.
It's the same mushroom. There's only one mushroom.
There's only I
No,
saw the
no.
one photo showed two mushrooms.
The
Two
No,
mushrooms
I was cut in half.
the
because
first
the
Oh.
cap on the cap on the ground doesn't have those white
It
patches.
has no patches.
Yeah,
Well, I couldn't see them there.
Yeah.
No, but there's still only the one mushroom because this little thing here is the patches. You see them?
Yeah,
oh,
they're there.
Yeah. I thought it was all yellow cap too until I started taking the side pictures. And I saw, oh, I see
Yeah,
the warts.
if you look at the structure of the warts, they're pyramidal in shape. This is not Flavorubens, I think. I think this is probably Chrysoblema.
Okay. Okay.
And the timing would be right, I'd say, for that.
yeah. That's how we found them. We've already found a few.
The red is
Um,
a little weird.
See the bottom of the stalk.
Yeah,
Does it
that didn't
have
come
a
out very
lot
well.
of deposits on it?
There
Yeah,
you
it's got
go.
some.
It's a little bit rimmed there.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. That's probably what it is. It's just
Professor
getting beat
Blama?
up. Yeah, if that's what you
Yeah,
want to call it. I still call
Chrysoblema
them
or
muscaria.
muscaria variety guessowii. Yeah.
Yeah, I still that's what I still call them.
Change this. Maybe I can't change it from here. I'm gonna change it from
Yeah,
the
the
other
color
side.
for Flavorubens, it's more like bronze. This one is like lemon yellow or pale lemon yellow. So, yeah, I think this is just our muscaria thing.
Which I thought was guessowii, or is that now?
Well, guessowii, but according to Rotellus, yeah. if you still believe in a thing called a species.
So Crystal Blama, I don't think that they have that for here.
Yeah,
No,
I think
INAT uses muscaria guessowii.
Which is fine by me.
Yeah.
But I couldn't get it to give me that when I tried to upload this thing.
Or just
That's the first.
Really?
putting it in.
I just
Yes,
posted on
when I
INAT
tried to
one
do
of
it, I
these.
couldn't do it.
Well, try it again.
Yes, I'm trying it again.
Don't put in var. Just try
No, I didn't.
Amanita muscaria
Yeah,
guessowii.
okay. Need to guess. Oh, no, it's muscaria guessowii. It's something even weirder. Okay.
What?
Let's see. It's now muscaria and no variation. They just sort of put the two together.
Muscaria guessowii.
Oh, so the words are concatenated. They're
No,
together.
the two words. There's three word name now.
That's what I was saying. They don't put in the var.
Oh,
They
now the
leave
var
out the
came
var.
up, but when
There.
I entered it on the app, it did not have the var.
Oh,
I
now
had to
it says
say,
var. Oh, jeez.
yeah,
Okay.
on the desktop, on the app, it has Amanita, muscaria, guessowii without the
Right.
var.
My gosh.
So you have to have two different ways of entering it, depending on where you are. Okay, that's the one I thought it was going to be. But then I was trying to figure out the flavorubin versus flavorubescens, and I couldn't do either one of those. Okay, good.
Flavorubescens and flavorubins are synonyms. One of them is
Okay.
flavorubins is an earlier synonym. So
Yeah, mushroom expert was still saying there's a debate about that, of who's supposed to be allowed.
but not in Rutgall's mind.
Okay, all right, so this is good. That's what I expect, because this is what I expect to see in my area.
Nice observation, Sue.
Lucky observation to find anything. The only other thing I found was the thing we don't want to find, the invasive, the golden oyster.
Oh, it's too late.
What do you mean it's too late?
The genie's out of the bottle. So find
Yes.
them, collect them, and enjoy them.
Well, I haven't eaten one yet. I've heard
Oh,
it's a different
they're
kind of.
really good. Just take them home and eat them.
Yeah, really good. Yeah.
Well, these were full of ants, so I didn't particularly like
Ah,
them. But this is the first
okay.
time I take a spore print of this because I didn't realize they had lilac spore prints. Now this looks
Pinkish.
more
Yeah.
Oh,
pinkish. And
wow.
iNaturalist claims it's pinkish based on the New Jersey Audubon book, that new one that no one likes. But in person, this is really purple.
Oh, I want to do
It's
that.
it's just pale purple, and when colors are very pale, it's easier to confuse them.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, that's why
to me,
it's good to take this print on white. Because it's a light print. If you take it on black, it'll just look close to being white.
Yeah, and if you get a copious spore print like that, use your knife or a razor blade to get a mound of of the powder together, like in a little clump, and then you're gonna visualize the color better too.
well, in person, it's really very obvious for me. It was purple. That's
That's
why it
Yeah,
made me
it's
surprised because, when iNaturalist is claiming it's going to be pink. But Mushroom Expert does say it's pink to lilac.
it's beautiful.
Yeah. So
I
I would say everybody take spore print when you get one.
yeah, I'm gonna
Enjoy
do
it.
that. I have never been. I've been sort of underwhelmed by the cooking with them, but I'm gonna try it again. But I recently learned, and I wanted to share that they supposedly have a like anti-leukemia effect. Um,
Oh,
so yeah. So my father-in-law has leukemia right now, so I'm like getting interested in these. So could be good. Could be a good thing.
by the time these things go through people's digestive system, there's nothing left to be anti whatever.
Mhm.
There's no oral bioavailability. I guarantee you that. It has to be probably injected into the bloodstream
Yes, yeah.
to be active.
And do you feel that way with most? Um,
Exactly.
oh, interesting. Okay.
Unless whatever is present there, like a secondary metabolite, like a small molecule, they can survive the harsh environment of the stomach and also be absorbed by the intestinal lining into your stream and pass through the liver intact and then wind up and distributed to various body parts. Then you have a drug, something that has a good degree of oral bioavailability, on the order of 70% at least.
Uh-huh. So supplements are probably more I mean, generally it's going to be more powerful than just eating mushrooms for their benefits. If the
Not necessarily. It all depends again on
who's
on
making them, what
how your body deals with these things that you ingest.
hmm
And those are the intrinsic properties of all the molecules. Are they broken up? Like there are some drugs that are only injectable, and there's a reason for that.
Yeah,
Um,
right.
they
Oh,
just wouldn't be able to either survive or penetrate or get absorbed. So
that's interesting. Thank you for sharing that. Yeah.
So that's why I'm skeptical about, I mean, there are obviously, bioactive molecules in mushrooms, but in order to make them drug-like, you have to work on them, and some of them are just not drug-like at all.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense, and I'm really glad to hear it, because I was sort of erring on like, oh, it's got to be better to eat the mushroom, but I'm now sort of seeing the light that it might.
Yeah, but
You're looking.
overall, mushrooms are very healthy, and they have lots of benefits because they have, vitamins and minerals and probably some of the other metabolites that do get through. It's the question is, are you taking enough of them to cause any positive therapeutic
Right.
effect?
Yeah.
And
It
that's
might.
it. But it shouldn't stop you from eating fungi. They're wonderful. But when people say they're a panacea against cancer, this and that, I would take it with a big grain of
Mhm.
salt.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Back to you, Sue.
Okay, well, that's all I have. If anybody else wants to go, if you put your name in the chat, if you have something. Other than we only have Dave left. It's after 8 o'clock. Would you like to go, Dave?
Sure. Yeah,
Have you
I'll
seen?
go.
Yeah.
Okay.
Before you go, Dave, so you haven't seen any boletes yet in your area, right?
No.
Okay, I thought that
I was
maybe you're
lucky to
being up
find anything
north.
up above ground.
Okay.
Even though we had a really hard rain, the only thing I found was this one Amanita underneath the trees. Nothing even out in the
Which
open.
were there any conifers, or they were all deciduous?
There was all spruce. I mean, it's all mixed. This is the
Oh,
park I take my husband to walk in.
yeah. One thing about Flavorubens that I think it probably likes hardwoods better than conifers, in my experience.
It does. It's usually with oak.
Yeah, I was reading
Yep.
that was another reason why I didn't like it, but iNaturalist was right about the golden oyster, because when I found it, I didn't think it was an oyster because the stem did not have very much decurring gills. It was sort of like not deep at all. It was more like ridges.
Yeah.
Yeah, usually oysters are very easy to ID. I mean, I see pictures, even bad ones, all the time, and I'm like, yeah, this is what it is. It can't be anything else. They're very
Well,
distinct.
well, in this case, I really thought it was something else. I thought it was the Geronima strombotes.
Oh wow.
Oh,
Really?
The only reason I naturalist picked it up, I think, is because the stipe is thicker in the oyster. But
Yeah.
other than that, I really the top it wasn't mature. The next day I got back, it looked much more like an oyster. But when it was younger, it wasn't.
And their smell is very different than our classic oysters. The anise smell they do not have. They have more of like a citrus smell. Um, so yeah, that doesn't necessarily.
Yeah, I couldn't smell it, the golden oyster at all. I didn't get any oyster mushroom smell at all, just an ordinary mushroom smell.
It's
Um,
not the same as our
and it
oyster.
wasn't what they claimed it was supposed to be either. Mushroom expert, what kind of smell the golden oyster had, what mushroom expert said. Strong Swedish of rehydrated herbarian material. Like I'm supposed to know that.
That's what he said it smells like. That's
Yeah, rehydrated herbarian material.
I think it's a little citrusy, so maybe sweet, but yeah, that's funny.
That's a very like specific note to make that I mean, how many people know that smell in particular?
Okay, and don't tell me I'm supposed to know sub-spermatic either. I didn't know it was categorized there.
Mm,
So I'm not going to practice on any of those.
Well, what's
I'll
that
just
bully that in the Bissett book? It's sub something or other. It's a like a reddish poured bully that in the Bissett manual it says it's
a blur this.
dried material smells like boiled urine.
Oh, subgraviolens.
Subgraviolens, yes, right.
I guess if they're boiling to get down to the components.
Which apparently is going to be the dominant name over something that has been popularized in the field guides. It's like the earliest name for something. It's one of those red port bullets. I have to check, but
It's not like vermiculosis.
it could be vermiculosis. Yeah, I mean vermiculosoides. It could actually. Yeah, I think that's the one. So vermiculosoides
Okay.
is going to be going away, I think,
Oh,
and subgraviolens is going to be the replacement name. Just
oh,
because it was published first in that book.
right.
The
I see.
page number matters. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, Dave, the first up you have a Crepidotus.
Yeah. I found what I think is this species twice. I also found it yesterday at a different location. I'm pretty sure it's the same species based on morphology. And so if you were to put this on INAT and just ask INAT what it is, it would probably say Crepidotus applanatus, the flat crep. Let's wait until we can see it. There's a lot of Crepidotus, though. In fact, I was just reviewing some information about Crepidotus cinnabarinus because
Oh, yeah. I was wondering if that's what you were going to show.
no, I wasn't. But check this out. Can you see my?
Oh, yeah. Does it say?
Yeah, it's 160 pages of Crepidotus.
Lift it up a little higher, could you? There, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Nice. Yeah, you guys were mentioning that. I've never seen it. That's neat. Wow.
Yeah, it's a great cure for like insomnia, if you try to read this thing. But it's got really good descriptions of Crepidotus as the genus was understood in 1965. I mean, who knows how much this book will change now in the age of phylogenetics. DNA there might be like 10 species in here that get lumped into one concept, or there might be one thing that gets split up. But it looks like, from what I've been seeing online, it looks like there's probably going to be a lot of different things that end up being applanatus. That's what it looks like to me.
I just want to point out that book is online on MicroWeb.
Oh,
so
is that for free?
For free, it's on MicroWeb.
Oh, nice.
MicroWeb gives things for free. So I'm gonna
put it in
Crepidotus home.
Nice,
right? So
yeah. Wow, that's amazing, Sue.
Yeah, the reason why I got this book out, we're discussing with our Pennsylvania State conservation mycologist how we want to provide S rankings for fungal species. And so Hannah Huber, who's sort of in charge of this, she's trying to pick some species that seem to be at least uncommon, if not rare. And Crepidotus cinnabarinus fills the bill there, and it's easy to identify just by what it looks like. So I got out this book to see in 1965 how common was it thought to be, and in 1965 the species was said to be rare, and we still think it's at least very uncommon. There's only 5 observations on INAT from Pennsylvania. One of which is mine.
The cinnabarinus.
Cinnabarinus, yeah. Now that's not what we found. The thing we're going to see here in a minute, if the link works, is a rather boring looking, just one of these like whitish things that, when it's wet, maybe it's more gray. and then it dries out and it's white. But the interesting thing, there's one interesting thing about this Crepidotus that as soon as Sue is ready to put it up, we'll see it.
What link are you talking about?
I don't know the first one. I'm not sure. There's a
I have the
Crepidotus.
Crepidotus on my screen, but I don't know which picture you were interested in. Or is it a different one?
Oh,
I
it's
haven't
not
seen
on
it yet.
anyone else's screen.
Yeah, we don't
Ah,
see it.
I
Yeah, that's why
stopped
I'm
it.
talking about
Okay.
these other things. I thought you were just
No,
playing
no. I
around
thought I
trying
had
to
already
get ready.
shared.
It's working
Yeah.
out
Oh,
pretty
okay.
well, though. Yeah.
Let's find the chair. Okay, you can see it now?
There we go. So this photo was taken by Rick Koval, who's a member of our club. He uses a pretty good camera. Although he may have taken this with his phone, I'm not sure. Notice the little bit of a violaceous tint on the gills. His photo maybe overdid that a little bit, but that was definitely present. A little bit of a violaceous, very, very pale, violet sort of color on the gills, and the caps showed it also. This was on ash. This was on a dead ash tree that had fallen over. The second photo is mine. It's not very good. It was just not good lighting at this particular moment. And I think it was maybe in direct sunlight, and I tried to make a shadow, and then things got too dark. So I tried to edit the photo to make it look a little better, but that's as good as it got. So the subsequent photos are posed. The posed photos are pretty good in terms of what this thing looked like. So you'll notice it's fading. It's hygrophanous. The word is hygrophanous for these mushrooms where the cap fades. So the white part is where it's lost moisture, I guess, and the brown part is still going to fade eventually. So these have brown spores. They're kind of crumbly. You have to watch how you handle these things; they'll fall apart. But here's the interesting thing: Crepidotus applanatus, which is thought to be the most um, common Crepidotus in the Northeast, has round spores. These spores are broadly ellipsoid, and some of them are verging on ellipsoid. So they're definitely not globose or subglobose. They're the length ratio, length to width looks like it's probably in the neighborhood of 1.5, at least 1.4. So that's way bigger ratio than globose, which is like up to about 1.1 maybe. So that's what's interesting about this otherwise boring looking little whitish thing that grows on wood. Yesterday I didn't post the observation yet, but the ones I saw yesterday, it was on a big old log. I think maybe an oak or a beech. I'm not sure, and there must have been several hundred on the one log, and I haven't posted that yet. I haven't gone through my photos yet. Anyway, that's this.
It's interesting because I also found the Crepidotus last weekend, also in an area full of dead ash.
Oh,
So,
Yeah, I wonder if it might be the same. But
well,
there's
mine's not
there's a
quite
lot
the
of
same.
different spore shapes in Crepidotus.
And I didn't go to spores, so that
Yeah,
was
the
boring.
spores will give you some information. There's one Crepidotus that has like really long spores. There's one species of Crepidotus that has fusoid spores, so it's like really tapered on one end. So these are, I would say, broadly ellipsoid. Okay, what do we have next? Oh, this is a cool little thing. Looks like a little oyster mushroom, sort of. I guess you can possibly confuse this also with angel wings because of the shallow gills. Um, angel wings are Pleurocybella porogens, and that's a late season species. I don't see it until usually late August at the earliest. And this you can find all from spring through fall. Hohenbuehelia angustata. So it looks like a boring little thing, looks shaped kind of like a shoehorn, sort of. The cool thing about this is the cystidia on the gills. And there's the penny, like I was talking about before. I always try to use a penny that doesn't reflect much light. So you automatically can get an idea of how big these are.
That's a good idea.
The gills are very close together. You can see, and they're shallow, very close together, shallow, decurrent, meaning the gills are running down the stalk. And there's also, like, the stalk is sort of almost like just like a nub, but it does go into the substrate a little bit. So here's an example of one where I did need to sort of dig some of these out of the substrate. In this one we're looking at right here, you can see that part of the stalk. If I had just pulled on this or just cut it, I would have lost that. So is that an important part of this ID? Not particularly. But it does add to the understanding of this species to see that, the stipe can be like that, rooting into the substrate. The really interesting. Oh, go ahead.
Could you, the substrate, is it moss or is it?
That was a mossy log. It was a mossy log. And you know what? That might be why this stipe is a bit longer than usual, because it had to push up through moss. So it's fruiting. The mycelium is inside the wood. It's in the log, but there was a lot of moss on the log. And so the fruit body had to sort of push up through the moss to get to where it was going to be able to do what it wants to do.
I wasn't sure there was wood under there. I thought so. But...
I'm glad you brought it up because I didn't mention it and I should have. This thing grows on wood. And this was very, very densely mossy piece of wood and sort of a pretty damp area. The coolest part of this species, though, are the last few pictures. The spores are pretty boring. They're small. They're sort of subglobose or egg-shaped, depending upon how they profile, how they're lying there in the mound. But the cool thing is the cystidia. That's what's coming up. So the cystidia are these, they look like bottles, and they have really thick walls and a neck and a little spout on top. They look like bottles. So this is at 400 times magnification, mounted in Congo red. I like to use a stain when I mount tissue because it helps bring out details. So that's why this picture looks kind of orangey reddish, because it's the gill was smashed. It's a smash mount of gill in Congo red. And I think I diluted with a little bit of water. So there's a few photos of these cystidia. And there's another one. So they really do look like bottles. I'm not sure. I don't think that's the same one twice. But you can see there's a lot of them also. I think this one over on the right just has some spores stuck to it. Yeah, that one all the way on the right. So that's a cool thing about this species, and is the microscopic trait. There you can see that's where they were growing. A few of them are still attached to the log, and you can see here very well that they're really the part of the mushroom that's attached to the wood is really buried in that moss. So that's why we have these elongated rooting stipes on these. So that was a good thing to ask. I'm glad you did ask that, Hunter.
Thanks. That's a nice observation.
Yeah, the log was in a spot where the ambient light was actually pretty good. Oh, this is a cool one. So from the top, this just looks like, it's just another one of those hexagon-pored polypores, right? They're all over the woods, all through the spring. You are seeing them. It's more than one species of Neofavolus, hexagon-pored Neofavolus, but that's not what this is, actually. And you get a surprise sometimes when you turn one of these over and you find out that it's got gills.
Gills.
Yeah. So this is Neofavolus suavissimus. oh, geez, I forget how to say it now. Suavissimus?
Suavissimus, yes.
Suavissimus, yeah. Um, and also this species, it has a very pleasant odor. Like some people say cinnamon, some people say anise, but it's a very pleasant odor, like a sweet, spicy odor. So it's a pretty cool species. I found, this is supposed to be rare, but I found it now for like 4 years in a row, usually in the spring. But the one year I found it at Nymph in when we had Nymph in at Suzivka. One of the forays was to go up a mountain. It was pretty high up on the mountain. I found this species. That would have been in like August or September. So that's a pretty cool species. I didn't do any micro on this.
Yeah, that is cool. Is the
Yeah,
cap surface smooth or is it hairy?
it's pretty smooth.
Okay.
Yeah, a little bumpy, I guess, but it looks like it has maybe some little very shallow ridges, maybe. But I think it's more or less pretty smooth. Okay, here you go, Igor. Here's a bolete. So far, I have seen 3 species of boletes. This one, which only this one fruit body, growing in an area with hemlock, which is to be expected. And I've also found a couple of Lexinum section scabra, the gray capped Lexinum. I found a few of those. And what's the other thing we found? Oh, Suavissimus weaverae. That's out. If you look under white pine around here, you
I'm surprised.
Excuse me, Hunter. I'm sorry. What'd you say?
Oh, I haven't seen that yet here. I'm surprised because it usually is out, right?
Yeah, we've seen it. I think I've seen it in 3 places.
Okay.
I actually saw weaverae like 2 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
So this is it's right now it's housed in genus Boletus. So what's up with this one, Igor? Are they going to put this in Boletus, or
Yeah,
is
it's going to be it's going to be in Boletus. Yeah.
Boletus? Okay, right. Yeah. Okay. Mm-hmm. So it's people mistake this for Beirangia bicolor, the 2-color bolete. That species usually has more red on the stalk, and the staining is different. Although this one sometimes doesn't stain very much at all. It'll be very, very weak. So you can see here the bruising on the pore surface. And I've got a couple of photos here in sequence to show how the staining develops. So I cut it. There's a little bit of blue staining and then a little bit more in the cap. The cap context is sort of whitish, and the stipe context is a little bit more yellow in it. And most of the time, you'll see the staining in the cap context. And I think the last couple of photos is after several minutes, and the bluing was setting in pretty well into the. Now, sometimes you don't see this much staining in this species. Sometimes it's just very little bit, like maybe right under the cuticle or right where the context meets the tubes, the layer of tubes. You might see a little bit. This one was young and fresh. It had probably come out like the night before or 2 nights before those. It was pretty close to the time when there was a significant rainfall. So that's miniato-olivaceus.
Yeah, this one is partial to hemlock, and this is the only place that you will see it in hemlock woods.
Yeah, that's how I see it. Two
it has a pink
locations.
Pink cap that fades away a little bit and develops olivaceous stains, and the yellow is pretty pale, a lighter shade of yellow. Um, not recommending this one to eat. I think it might be somewhat poisonous.
It has a bad reputation. The older field guides all warn against eating it. They say it's toxic.
Yeah, but the thing is that the species concept of this bolete has been confused for a very long time, and maybe this is
Yes,
just
it
like
has.
one of those older treatments of the species, and they sort of say that don't eat those blooming boletes to begin with. But
Right.
Boletus has it's a fairly small genus. We have several species. None of them, to my knowledge, are poisonous, but at the same time, we don't really hear anything about their edibility. I haven't eaten any of them yet. We have rudii, we have bicoloroides, and what will become pseudo-bicoloroides, and this one. And there's a species from the west called smithii that allegedly is poisonous or not a good edible. And there's also one species from Costa Rica and maybe Arizona called Neoregius.
Yeah, Smithii shows up in if you get an ITS sequence for this miniato-olivaceus and blast it, you'll see some Smithii, which I think that the older ones are called Boletus Smithii, but that's a pulchra Boletus,
Right.
I believe. Yeah.
I think miniato-olivaceus and Smithii are sister taxa, and Neoregius bicoloroides and pseudobicoloroides form a different clade. So, and I forget where rudii is. Rudii doesn't stain blue at all, or if it does, it's maybe like a stain here, and that's about it. Rudii is a very pretty species. I've only seen it once in New Jersey. I have a spot for it.
For this one,
yeah,
or for rudii?
What's that?
For this species or for rudii?
No, for rudii. Yeah, rudii is
because I never found rudii.
Yeah, rudii is very rare above the Mason-Dixon line. And it likes hardwoods. Now this one is exclusively hemlock. We don't see it anywhere else.
I only see it in two different locations, and there's hemlock is prominent in each location.
Yeah, we did find miniato-olivaceus once or twice in New Jersey, but it's always at Stokes State Forest where
I was going to
hemlocks
say
are.
probably Stokes.
Yeah, I have one or two observations of that species from there. Yeah, very nice. I like this bolete. It's not a very showy bolete, but it's a very handsome bolete.
Yeah, it's a nice looking bolete, and it's got like features that make it identifiable. This one's redder than usual because it was very fresh and new. That it once the cap expands, it flattens out a little bit. Well, it doesn't really flatten out, but it just expands. It becomes a little more broadly convex. Then you get more of that olivaceous patches.
Yeah, olivaceous patches, and it loses its denser, darker pigment, becomes sort of washed out pink.
Yeah, it spreads out. The pigment spreads out more, and it's lighter. Yep.
Very nice.
Yeah,
I read about this one. That's an interesting observation.
This one here?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is interesting. I when I first saw it, I thought, wow, this looks like maybe one of the Ligniotus varieties with gills that are more widely spaced than usual. Unfortunately, I couldn't get any spores to drop out of this thing. And I thought I would because it was pretty fresh when I got it home. Although it did go for a 3.5 hour walk through the woods in a plastic container. So, that may have caused it to not want to sporulate. Because if I could have got spores out of this thing and mounted them in melters and looked at the ornamentation, the ornamentation on the Ligniotus types and the gerardii types is really a lot different. Gerardii has really, really small warts, only about a half micron or so. And the ligniotus types have warts that are like a 1.5 microns. Some of them are over 2 microns. So I could have probably been able to tell. But I think this is gerardii, one of the gerardii types. The staining does not fit gerardii. Now, that staining took a while. I didn't get good photos in the field. Actually, the other guy who was with us, Rick, he got some decent photos in the field. And I should just lift his. He told me it's all right if I lift his photos and put them on my observations, and I think I'm going to do that. So this stain took a while to develop. This was several hours after it was picked. But gerardii is not supposed to do that. So interesting.
Okay, so this is the white latex turned brown, or is that
It
something
looks
else?
like the latex probably stained the tissue.
Can I see the other pictures again?
Here comes Byron.
And you consider
Byron, listen, it's your buddy Igor.
Dave, the Ligniotus group contains several species, most of which are cryptic because Ligniotus is a European Lactarius.
Oh, okay. Well, there's also this thing called Phallax that looks like Ligniotus. So I'm not sure what I have here. I sampled it for sequencing. I hope it works because
You said Phallax?
I think there's one called Phallax.
Yeah, well, probably very aptly because it resembles Ligniotus.
Yeah.
Phallax means deceptive in Latin.
Okay, I see. Yeah, yeah. So I don't know what we have here.
Mushroom expert says that the milk is not supposed to stain.
That's right.
Yeah,
that's what Koo
that's what I'm
says.
saying. Yeah, for gerardii. Now, some of the Ligniotus types have milk that will stain the tissue. Sometimes darker brown. I think there's one that stains it like purplish brown. But these gills are pretty widely spaced for the Ligniotus group. Now, I think I should check up the description of this Phallax. I haven't done that yet because I think that one might have typically gills that are more widely spaced than Ligniotus. I'll have to check. I mean, the gestalt of this says gerardii, and the cap is not particularly velvety. It's more sort of just bald.
microscopy.
No, I couldn't get any spores to fall, and I don't like doing smash mount on like Lactarius and then trying to mount in melters. It's a way. There's too much debris. I mean, it's hard enough to see the ornamentation on spores anyway. Then when you have all this junk in the way, I didn't bother. Plus, I have so many things to look at. When we have a mushroom foray, I made like 40 posts, from our foray. That's the way I communicate with our club members what we found. I just try to post everything and then I'll send them a link, to like, I send them 2 links. I send them an INAT link and a mushroom observer link. They can use whichever one they want for the day. My observations on that particular day, and they're all together,
nice.
The one link. So that's the way I share with our club. But it means I do a lot of work. We get home from a foray. I've got photos to go through from like 40 different things. And there were more than 40. There were some of the photos weren't any good. So those didn't get included. But I try to do microscopy on some things. And I did put out a piece of cap on a slide, and I really thought I would get spores, and I got none. So, because that would have gone a long way here to see the ornamentation on the spores.
Okay, thank you. I don't know if we want to trust this name though. I'm surprised you left it on, knowing that all
No,
these
I
things
don't.
were against it.
No, yeah, I should counter. I should submit another proposal on. Now, if you do it on INAT, it just changes it. and it crosses the other one out, like you're saying, nope, wrong. I mean, that's not really the way to discuss mushroom identification. The best way is to, like, if there's two or three different things that each of which seems sensible for one or another reason, on Mushroom Observer, you can have two or three names all standing together with people voting on each one separately. And so there's like a confidence level attached to each one. To me, that's the way to discuss fungi, not yes, no.
Yeah.
Yes, it
Well,
is.
on
No, it is.
iNaturalist, you don't even get a no. Somebody proposes something on, the only choice you got is to agree or not. I mean, all you can do is agree. You
Exactly.
can't say I don't,
That's
because
what I'm saying.
Chris, you're wrong.
That's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. There's not. It's now there are sometimes more than one. INAT, you can have more than one ID proposal on the same observation, but you can't make two yourself. If I counter propose on INAT, Lactifluus gerardii, it'll just cross it out and like I'm saying, nope, wrong, it isn't that. So, but in my opinion, it very well could be one of the gerardii varieties, which Michael Quo says there's the genetics imply there's a lot of different species under this name. So, it very well could be one of those.
Is there a section that you could use instead under Lactifluus?
I don't know the sections of Bacterius lactifluus. There might be there probably are. I don't know them. It's really hard to find information on things like sections and so forth. I mean, honestly, the only resource I know that just contains a lot of information about categories between genus and species is Rod Tullis's Amanita website. It's got all these different distinctions in between genus and species. It's got genus, section, stirps, series, all these. I mean, I don't even know what some of these things mean, but it's nice to have these subcategories. Anyway, so I don't know in Lactarius / Lactifluus. I don't know the breakdown between genus and species.
It's nice to
And
see.
the question is any of this going to hold up to the DNA when we sequence all the species within the genus? That structure that people put forward. Taxonomic structure, sections, subsections, and so forth.
Yep, doesn't hold up sometimes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're doing this with Rousseau, which is a much bigger genus than Lactarius. I'm not sure how successful they are in proving or disproving the taxonomic structure that was put in there, before the advent of DNA sequencing.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not even sure. I mean, there are some types of russulas that are like way different than other types of russulas. Like, I think there's something called section or subsection compactae. And, those are a lot different than like the colorful ones. I'm guessing that'll probably hold up. That'll probably hold up to phylogeny.
Yeah, one thing that's going to anchor, those sections are the type species for each section and so forth.
Sure.
And once you do that,
yeah.
I mean, if you can get a type sequence, and once you do that, you just have to put some meat on the bones eventually by sequencing all that attacks and see what falls where.
Right. What falls where? Right. Yep. Oh, by the way, I missed Colin Domnauer's presentation last Thursday. It was basketball night for me. But I caught it on.
It's on our website?
Yeah, Emily sent me the link and I watched it.
Okay.
So I watched the whole thing. Actually, watched part of it twice. So that was very good. He did a really nice job.
So we can watch that again, Sue, by just...
If you go on to our website and the members login,
Yep.
and then choose the YouTube section there.
Okay.
It has
Great.
the presentation that was happened last Thursday.
Okay. Yeah, that was good.
Psychedelic boletes,
Yep. And
the little people.
yeah, all the little people.
Well, to me,
So Dave, I reckon you're going to sequence this collection, right?
well, yes, I sampled it.
Oh, you sample it.
You know,
Okay, good.
I did the toothpick sample. It's now, you know, inside one of those wells in a plate, you know, so
Yeah, it's
hopefully it
been a
works.
weld. It's been a weld. Yeah.
It's been weld. You know, to me, the most interesting thing in Colin's presentation, just to get off track here for a second, is when he said like a lot of these boletes, they're sequencing that have been stored in various herbaria. What did he say? Like 40 to 50% are wrong. They're labeled wrongly.
Yep.
It was some high percentage like that.
I'm pretty sure this is very common and widespread. You know, a lot of misidentifications everywhere, especially for those bicolor, like, you know, bullets.
Oh God, yeah, because those have just been so confused. When I've had a miniato-olivaceus sequenced a couple of times, and the matches you get are really weird. You know, I look on Michael Quebec thinks that that what I call miniato-olivaceus, they think it's miniato-pilescens, and they have to fix up their website on some of that, because now we know what that is.
We know now that it's a member of genus Van Maua. It's not Boletus, you know, which is a very, you know, they are not even close on the.
It's a lot different than miniato-olivaceus. It's not even. It's the one that. It's that thing they used to call sensibilior. That Lamoureux called it sensibilior, right? Miniato-pilescens. Yeah.
Yes.
And it blues like crazy. It turns. I mean, it's more dramatic bluing than Neoboletus even.
Yes. Yes. Very impressive. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, I'm getting off track here.
No, that was interesting and helpful. And I need to review all those lookalikes.
Yeah, I've got to watch Colin's presentation again because he wants feedback, because apparently he's going to present that at NEMF.
Oh, okay. You know what? I'll send him some feedback.
Yeah, and this was his first pass, you know, on the presentation. So he never presented this before, so that was his first try.
Oh, it was really good, I thought.
Well, the first half he had presented before on the little people, the Asian boletes, but the second half was new because I had seen it. Yeah, so yeah, I mean, it was. I'd love more of of the second half. If there is more, though, I don't know.
Yeah, chronologically, his research focused on the psychedelic mushrooms, and as he found out that it was in genus Van Maua, then the second sort of research topic, it was like a segue, you know, into that. So we know some Van Mauas. It would be nice to identify all of the Van Mauas in this country. And it's you know, it was a difficult genus. It's still a difficult genus, but you know, before, you know, we now know all the species. I think we have 9 in this country. You know, they were tough to identify. Nobody knew, you know, which one was which. And even now, we still have to scratch our heads about things like Sublurida and Rosa crispans and Carminipora.
Yeah, I got involved in that discussion on MO.
Oh yeah, that's rabbit hole. I mean, I decided not to comment because it just got
really.
Yeah, you know, whatever they said about that. that species, anything taxonomic is a human construct, that we don't have species actually, because these mushrooms, they are changing evolutionary as they go through times. But we're concerned, at the current snapshot, where things are right now. We don't care where they're going to be 100,000 years from now, obviously, right? Because we won't be around. But yeah, it was an interesting discussion. So
send your comments to Igor, and he can summarize them anonymously for a column.
What?
About his presentation, if he wants feedback.
Oh yeah, I mean, I have to watch this thing again and make sure that nobody talks to me about it. Yeah.
Yeah. Dave, you had something you wanted to show based on Hunter's examples earlier?
Oh yeah.
I've forgotten which one he was going to show.
Was it what was that? It wasn't the Amanita, I don't think, nor the.
No, it's before that. Before that for sure. You showed the Coprinopsis, variegata, and
was
the
it
parrot mushroom.
Neofavolus, or was it Xylaria? Maybe I can't remember what he said now. Oh, was it the puffball one? Yeah, the Bovista. That's what oh no, it was the parasol. It was near the end. It was the parasol mushroom.
The Coprinopsis lagopus, his version of that.
Yeah,
Dave, you with us?
I found. Looks like he might have disappeared, or
no, he's on mute.
Oh, he's just muted.
I got a phone call. Actually, I just got a phone call from Scott Pavel, the guy who runs the bolete filter.
Yeah. Do you have to go?
Yep. So he wanted to know. I'm surprised he had this question, because I mean, he was involved in our little project, and about subvolutipes. So, but things change. So I guess he was wondering if this changed. He wanted to know if Boletus is a valid genus name. And yes, it is. Yeah, there are Boletus. So anyway, Igor, the chameleon is now Boletus subglioidelis, right? Is that correct?
Yes.
But eventually that'll be transferred to Boletus, I imagine.
Correct.
Yep. Okay, that's what I've been telling people, because there's been questions about it. John Plischke had a bunch of questions. That's why Scott called, because John sent me all these INAT observations they're probably all Boletus subglioidelis, and so I put a long comment on one, and then just pasted the link to the comment in on all the other ones, and some of the ones that were pretty clearly found under oak. I just proposed the name Boletus subglioidelis, and with a short explanation. But I guess there's some doubt about, the problem is that all these bolete field guides say that Neoboletus subvolutipes grows under oak. That they need to stop saying that. So I think that's why people are confused.
It doesn't grow under oak, or it grows under a lot of things.
Yeah, the one that grows under oak is what Igor was calling Neoboletus chameleon, because it does have a rather variable appearance. It's basically a red pored bolete. Sometimes the pores apparently are yellow. But yeah, that one grows under oak, and the true subvolutipes is a conifer associate, hemlock, spruce, for the most part.
Okay.
Yeah, we're pretty certain of this, because we did a big project that took years. That we got Roy Howling involved. He actually got the type specimen for that Peck put into Albany in 1880 or whatever. He actually got
Wow.
some of the material for us, and it's sort of a long story. Actually, I wrote a two-part story in Fungi magazine about the project. So that was about a year or so ago that appeared in the magazine.
Oh,
So
cool.
yeah, if you can find those articles, that'll tell you the whole story.
It was just a year ago, you said?
It was about a year ago. It was in the magazine. It
Okay.
took a while for me to finish the article. This was a project we did in, I think it was 2018. It just took a
Oh,
long time to get the entire project completed,
yeah.
which is part of the story, really. Why it took so long.
Yeah.
But yeah, we now understand that Peck's Boletus subvolutipes, which has now been transferred to Neoboletus, and Igor was going to publish that transfer, and he had done a lot of work on it and had all his ducks in a row ready to go. And this Chinese team, like, literally put like a one paragraph um, justification into some Indian journal, and that basically just said, "Oh, by the way, this Boletus subvolutipes things should be in Neoboletus because it looks like it should be." That's basically, they didn't say much more than that, to paraphrase.
Uh-huh.
And they published the transfer.
Right.
Um,
Got it.
yeah. So yeah, part of the story.
Cool.
Hey, do we
So
remind
that part
Dave?
wasn't cool, actually. They stole it from Igor.
Yeah, no, it's not good. No, I
Well,
know.
this is
Bummer.
something that should have never passed peer review, and that's why they go for these crappy journals. They just accept any crap um,
It was
without
really pretty
questions.
bad.
You know,
It was literally one paragraph.
when the paper where the Peck specimen of Savolutipes was whole genome sequenced, I was part of that paper, and it took us months to get this to the publication stage just because the reviewer was such a pain in the neck. I mean, I've dealt with peer review on both ends of the sort of process, and this person, whether it was a man or a woman, I don't know, because they're anonymous. I mean,
Uh-huh.
that person was a pain in the neck. I mean, it was just
Uh,
ridiculous. So it kind of slowed us down, but that was not the reason why things happen that way. But I'm just saying that sometimes you get somebody like this who is very difficult to satisfy, and there are other instances where peer review is just a joke. It's a travesty.
yeah, sounds like it. And I've heard other accounts similar. Yeah, not good. Okay.
Okay, Dave, we were just wondering about whatever it was that you wanted to show when Hunter was
Oh,
presenting.
yeah, that parasol mushroom.
Oh,
Or do you want to skip it?
you know what? Let me paste in a link into the chat for the parasol mushroom. Okay, so I'm going to have to exit full view, go to Mushroom Observer, and then there's another one too. There's the Coprinopsis that I wanted to show that I got a name, via sequencing. But anyway, let me find this Parasola first of all, because that was pretty cool. At least I think it's Parasola. I'm not completely convinced, but I think that's what it is. It was sort of a strange environment for Parasola, in
Did
a
it have
mossy area.
on the top of
But
the parasol? Does it have like a little
no,
circle?
it appears to lack velar remnants on the cap. So I'll paste that in now. Okay, I'm going to the chat. Okay, here's that one. That one's in there. And let me find that Coprinopsis from last year. And So I'll have to do a little search here. That won't
What I
take
was
long.
referring to was that circle on the top of the cap. That's kind of a parasola characteristic.
Yeah. The disc,
Yeah,
the like brownish or yellowish or orange disc right in the middle, and
yeah,
the
yeah.
striations terminate at the disc. Yeah, that's but there's also Tulocesis.
Uh,
Tulocesis is another genus, and that is pretty similar to Parasola, but they're small. I think Tulocesis mushrooms are mostly really small. Um,
so is that a separate structure? You're calling it a? I've not really heard that before.
what's that? The
Uh, is it a separate structure? You're referring to it as a disc, and
Oh, the disc. Yeah, well, it's just the middle of the cap.
uh-huh.
The middle of the cap is often just referred to as the disc.
Yeah, but it's like so unique in the, I think, in a way.
The Parasola has a very distinctive disc. Yes,
Yeah.
and I think most of them are like that, except maybe for Parasola I think it's Conopilia. That's a big one that it looks like a great big Coprinellus or something.
Oh,
And
uh-huh.
yeah, that one's a little different. Um,
Okay. Yeah,
Let
I
me
love
see here. I'll find
it.
this.
It's really a pretty thing to see the disc.
Yeah, let me see if I want to find this one where there's a sequence put in. Um, yeah, let's see. Is it this one? Might be this one. No sequence. Oh, I know what I'll do. I'll just click on the name. Okay, I'll get this in a minute. It'll take me a minute. There's only a few observations with this name, Coprinopsis pachysperma. Um, I'm having a hard time finding this. Wait, it's got to be one of these. Oh, maybe it's this one. Yeah, it's this one. This one has the sequence. Actually, it looks a little bit different than yours, though. Um, but I'll put it in the chat. Okay, it's in there. So there's another link in the chat. So this grows in the compost. I've it's been out there a few times already this year, and I'm pretty sure it's the same species. So it looks a little bit like yours. Um, I don't know if we can see the velar remnants on the caps. These things deliquesce really quickly. They're gone. They come out in the morning, they're gone by the afternoon.
Lagopus is like that too. They become almost like invisible. Like
Yeah, they become
Yeah.
translucent. Yeah.
yeah,
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, they can look really cool if they get like that and they're not deliquescing yet. They look
yeah,
really, really interesting.
yes.
Is it possible to? There's a new way to enlarge the photos now. On
Okay.
Yeah, there's a new way to do that on MO.
What's wrong with the old way?
I don't know. Okay, so you see there's velar remnants stuck in between the ridges. Um, it's not a lot of velar material, but there is some there. You can see
Oh
patches
yeah.
of it here and there. Yeah.
Mhm.
If you go back to the thing that I said is parasola, we shouldn't be able to see any of that on the cap. So let's see if we can.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this cap's pretty clean,
The
and it
pack.
has that really notable disc too, like you pointed out.
Did you say the pachyderma was growing? What was the substrate? And it was
Compost,
oh
compost.
yeah,
Like all our vegetable compost and coffee
yeah,
grinds, and it's all just in a big heap in our property.
got it.
So
Hmm.
that's where these guys are growing. And
Okay.
there's been a bunch of them lately. I mean, the other day, I think yesterday I was just out looking in the yard, but it was already too late in the day. They were really far gone. There must have been like 30 of them.
Yeah.
Two big clusters.
Yeah.
But this
Typical
was sequenced.
setting for them. Yeah. Right.
This was sequenced. The sequence is here. It's pasted into this observation. So it says ITS there on the right. If you
Yeah.
click on that, you can see
Yeah,
the
on the
sequence. You
right.
can do a blast. So
Yeah. You see it right to the right of the
That
right.
one, okay.
yeah, you can. There's the sequence. You can run. If you click run blast, it might take a minute, but we'll see here on GenBank. We'll see the matches on GenBank. Now you have to click blast again. It's down on the bottom of the page, so you have to like scroll down and find blast. There it is. You see it over there on the left. Yeah, click that again. Now you might have to wait for a minute. Sometimes it takes a while to find matches. So it says 2 seconds, but that might. Oh, there we go. Now scroll down. So there you are. There's our matches. Coprinopsis, Pachysperma. There's a bunch of them, and they're pretty high percent identity with 100% coverage. So this is what this species very likely is.
It's
this thing.
pachyderma, which means thick skin.
Pachyderma. Okay. Thick skin. Huh. Oh, pachyderma. Oh, it's my dyslexia's acting up again. I don't see the middles of long words sometimes.
Yeah, Pachyderma is a species of Amanita.
Yeah, it's an Amanita, I know. Pachyderma. Okay, well, thanks for pointing that out. I'll try to say this correctly from now on. But you can see here, it looks like a pretty strong match.
A name. I mean, the skin doesn't strike me as thick, but
well, you know what? It's not out of the question that people who are doing a lot of sequencing now, that somebody decided to use this name pachyderma and pachyderma, and now everybody's following suit, and it actually could turn out to be wrong. But as per this currently popular understanding of pachyderma, that's what I've got here. The name might change. The name might change. I don't know. Maybe the type was a pachyderma was sequenced. I don't know. But
yeah,
that looks like
as they say now. As they say nowadays, without a type sequence, it's a rumor.
Yeah, it used to be without a specimen, it's a rumor, but now without a type sequence, it's a rumor. So I don't know. I don't know what support that blast on GenBank actually is providing. But in terms of what people are currently calling Coprinopsis pachyderma, this is it.
Yeah, very cool. Thank you so much for sharing these. I'm glad we stayed around to do that. Thank you.
Sure.
Thank you, everyone, and we'll see you next week.
Good night.
Good night, Sue.
Good night.
Thank you.